A first win in 15 outings for Mikel Arteta's side against the former champions, against the treble winners, against Europeans' best team at the moment. Arsenal versus Manchester City, 1-0 to Arsenal at the Emirates. This is your boy, and welcome to the Soccer Huddle. Yeah, what? Yes. What a mouth-watering clash we've seen at the Emirates. I was almost certain that we're going to see our first game for Super Sunday, a goalless one. Martinelli popped up. Martinelli popped up with that goal. I've predicted, like, I've had 3 predictions so far from the start of the week until today. I said Arsenal is going to win. I said City are going to win. And today on my video on TikTok, I predicted an Arsenal win, and they never disappointed me because I saw the starting lineup for both games, for both teams. I meant, and some might say, why was Partey not on the bench or on the starting lineup and preferred to Jorginho? But as it happened, we saw a super subs, not sub, super subs, as all 3 Mikel Arteta substitutions made the difference to the game. And first half it was I think it was all everyone's game to win, and City had their chances. I think Ake had a clear goal chance in the first half in the set piece, and he failed to take advantage of that. And if it had fallen to the Gataganda himself, Haaland, we will be here speaking of a different story, but it wasn't meant to be. And it was Arsenal's game. And I said before, it was not just about the win. It was not just about getting the 3 points for Arsenal. I've said for Mikel Arteta's team, it's about him getting one over his master in Pep Guardiola. And it was a personal battle for me, both team and manager, to get a win against the champions. As I've said before, in the top 4 last season, Arsenal were the only team that haven't beaten Manchester City. And today they showed courage. They showed more hunger. I think they wanted it more than Manchester City. And I've said, Manchester City without Rodri, the win ratio is very, very low without him. And with him, it's very high. And credits to both teams. They really had it. They went all out for it. And I think in the second half, you could see, maybe some might say, City were running out of ideas and Arsenal would just keep going and going and going. And I think the substitution there, Martinelli, made a huge difference to Arsenal's attack. Trossard, I thought he looked very, I don't know if it was match fitness or confidence very low, but he didn't affect the game that much in the first half. I think hence why Arteta made that decision, made that sub in halftime to bring on Martinelli. And wow, what a sub, what a sub. And both managers, I think I was just sitting there looking at it. I'm like, hey, no, Arteta Vele, like he studies the game. Yeah. Making Arteta, Pep Guardiola. You could see he's his student. Pep made 3 changes and he followed it by 3 changes. And out of those 6 substitutes, I thought Arsenal substitutes were the ones that actually made a difference to the game. Dooku, I think, lost position many times, tried to do so much with the ball instead of releasing the ball quicker. Stones, I hardly saw him, to be honest. And who else came on? Who was it? It was Stones, Dooku, and Nunes, Maitland Nunes, Lena. I think because Arsenal were just attacking a City that we couldn't see the impact of Nunes. I thought Bernardo Silva was also quiet today. If Bernardo Silva, Alvarez, and Haaland again managed to keep him quiet, Gabriel and Saliba. But I think Foden showed some glimpses of him trying to run at Arsenal's defense. But in the end, Mikel Arteta's substitutes were on point. Mikel's substitutes were the game changers. I think a lot of people would have also agreed with me when we saw Partey on the bench and Jorginho. We know how slow Jorginho is and we know how quick Manchester City's press is. But that's 4 substitutions, I think, made all the difference. If you look at the build-up to the goal, all 4 substitutions were in it, because it was the long diagonal pass from Partey to find Tomiyasu, who headed it down Havertz just did it, hold the ball nicely, and just passed it on the platter for Martinell, and he side-footed it. He side-footed it. I think it was heading for goal. It was heading for goal, even if it wasn't for the deflection near Ake. It was heading for goal, and what can we say? And it only took that one moment of brilliance, or that one moment of regarding luck, because it was Ake's. But I think we will never know if Ederson would have made that save. We would never know. We are speculating now of if Ake didn't get a deflection, Ederson would obviously maybe save it, go for a corner, or maybe go into the bottom goal. So it wasn't meant to be. And credit to Mikel Arteta, credit to his Arsenal troops. They went in and they got the goal. Super subs from Arteta made all the difference. And North London reigns on the top of the league. If you look at them, Arsenal and Tottenham are the only two sides to have not tasted defeat this season in the EPL. And for Pep Guardiola is again down to the drawing board. I think maybe Rodri would be back in the next game after the international break, because they really needed him. You could see the gap that he left in the middle of the park, and it's three losses for England for Pep Guardiola. 3 losses. They lost to Newcastle, and they lost to last week Wolves, and now they lose to Arsenal. And obviously we know the quality and the managerial, the leadership of Pep Guardiola. I don't think this would take the team down, but we know. But someone needed to bring them down to reality. Someone needed to bring them down to earth so that they don't run away and be the runaway leaders of this EPL. What most motoring clashes as well. We saw local Amex Stadium, we saw West London, and all games gave us goals today. 2-2 draw, Brighton versus Liverpool, 2-2 draw, West Ham versus Newcastle, and a 1-1 stalemate against Wolves and Aston Villa. And yeah, super Sunday that was. Remember to share, like, and subscribe on our channel. Until we meet again.